What's up, folks? Here we go again, one more week. Gonna talk about a little something because I got a lot of shit to say, especially now. So, we always start out with our topic. It was always political. What was going on with Kamala, what Trump doing, Biden, how he running, what he going through, his, you know. But this time, we want to start off with wars. WAR, the S. Because there shouldn't be no wars. Russia fighting against those cats were one people who broke off and decided they want to have their own. They're Europeans. Yeah. But in the same time, the war over in the Middle East, that should not be. And we can take a look at history and go all the way back to as far as you want. 70 AD will be a good start. 70 AD, when Rome came against Israel, not the ones you see there today. And they conquered it. They smashed the uprising that the Israelites were about to attempt against Rome, because Rome was the ones who was in charge at that time. Rome was the head of the world at that time. Everything revolved around Rome. So Matthew 24, when the Holy One gave this premonition, this prophecy, whatever you want to call it, it came to pass. And he told them, not one stone will be left upon another when this day happens. If you're on the rooftop, don't go into the house. Flee. If you're in the fields, don't go back to the house. Flee. Because he knew the barbaric reasons and the ways that those Romans were and what they was going to do. And they did it. But in doing that, Titus also brought, who was the general of the army that came with Rome. His name was Titus. He in turn came through with the European army. Yeah. So we had to flee, as the Holy One said. Do not go back into the house. Do not come out of the field. Do not come from the roof. And pray that it does not happen in the wintertime or on the Sabbath day. There's reasons behind that. So it all happened. It all came to pass. They came. They put the rush on. Woo, woo, woo. We left. We fled to the west coast and the Gold Coast of Africa. We were up north. That's the northern part of Israel, where you at. So we fled and went down southwest. Thus, we are today. Because that's where those Spaniards and those Caucasians, those Europeans came and got us from Africa and took us here. And on the way, of course, they dropped us off. The Caribbeans, Cuba. Why do you think everything in the South is so dark? Why do you think you got pyramids in Mexico? That's just the beginning. Because archaeologists have discovered that they were coming here to America well before slaves. Well before Christopher Columbus was given a map by the Moors to come here. I'll say it like that. He didn't discover nothing. He knew where he was going, and he knew how to get there. Different topic, different story, different time. So we all have that insight. If you go into the history, you'll see all that occurred. Now, they tried to stay there in 70 AD. But who stopped them? Palestinians. Come on, this is history. I tell you, don't believe nothing until you validate it yourself. That part. So when we start to look at and understand, they use the same tactics that America used, Christopher Columbus used against the indigenous people of America. Only thing different, those Europeans that went over there to Israel had the backing of America. 1948. What else was happening at that time? What else was happening at that time? That's the same time when them Germans came up. Hitler. And he wanted pure blood. Now understand, those Israelis that are over there are European based. That's where they came from. That's their history, their culture, their knowledge. Europe. He said, no, you accept that, you're not pure Aryan. So what did he do? I'm not going to go into that. But 1948, America helped those now called Israelis to establish themselves as a nation and cancel out the ones that was there, the Palestinians. History, read it. Read it. I'm not telling you something I'm making up. I'm telling you knowledge from history. 6-Day War. Come on. America gave them everything they needed to conquer the Palestinians. Establish themselves as a nation and denounce the Palestinians. So for 70 some years, those Israelis, those Europeans kept their foot on the neck of the Palestinians, the Muslims. Come on. Do the history yourself. Search it. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Look it up. And then tell me if I'm right or wrong. From that point, those Israelis, what they're called now, they couldn't take Israelite because that belongs to us. So they did something a little different and called themselves Israelis. And if you come against them, then you're anti-Semitic. Well, what happens when you come against us? You just come against us. That's you're supposed to. So they think. But the thing is, you can go into the Bible, go into Revelations, read 2 and 9, 3 and 9, where the Holy One says those people who are claiming to be Jews and are not. And it goes on. God did not accept them as his because we are his. Different topic, different subject, different time. But I just wanted to lay that out there. Yeah. Just so you know, what you see is not always what it is. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about politics. Politics. Your boy feels he's losing. He's squirming and worming right now, trying to figure out a way that he can switch us. He can change our mind to vote for him. So what he do? He use AI. Put themselves in bars and in clubs and with the people, and they all black around him, and there he is. Huh? Bring a sister on this side, a sister on this side, and make you think that they are for him. Huh? Now they're saying you have Russia, you have China, you have Iran, you have North Korea. All of them now are infiltrating our social media and trying to distort, confuse, muddy up our election. Huh? How is that possible? Because they believe America does not search to find out the truth about what somebody says. what they call it, false news. False news. So they look at it and say, we can throw this out there and they'll believe it. What? How they believe it? They believe everything they see, everything they read, and everything they hear. They do not justify the truth from a lie. Where they get that from? Well, this is guy who's, I don't know, well, he's trying to run for president, but it always catches him in a fake news. And you can always tell the ones that promotes it, I'll say, to that level. Promotes what's being said out there amongst all of the things that's going on. He even said the incident that happened at Arlington Cemetery did not happen. I was there. Nothing happened. I get home. Then I see this thing on there that there was an incident at Arlington Cemetery. Well, it didn't happen. What? I'm telling you, we got 2 months. October 4th, this is September 4th, October 9th. We got exactly 2 months and 1 day. He already said they're trying to sow chaos and destruction if he loses. But who? Who's trying to do that? Who's trying to put chaos and destruction in America? How are you going to pit us against ourselves? We're one nation, remember? Under God. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are we? Look at it. Civil rights is gone. Roe v. Wade is gone. Who's controlling government? I just heard a statement on the news just before I came in here that enrollment amongst the African American Hebrew Israelite is down because affirmative action is gone. Some school colleges are reporting 8 to 10% decrease in our enrollment. Then they say, well, it was wrong anyway for them to have an advantage because of the color of their skin. Well, you don't understand. Because for 500 years, we had a disadvantage because of the color of our skin. Now you want to get an attitude because now it's time for justification? Huh? How'd that work? It was okay when you catch your foot on my neck. Palestinians. Now I'm standing up and ready to fight, and you mad. And you mad. Yeah. I'm sure eventually you'll get over it or get under it. Do your thing, Kamala. Do your thing. See, because everything that we have, they believe it's because they gave it to us. Obama, 8 years president. He wasn't supposed to get it. That was DEI. We just didn't know it. Because a white man should have had that position, but he gave it to him twice. So now anybody to hold that position is a black man's job. Come on, Trump. We gotta stop being blinded to everything they do to us. Oh, it's okay. We'll get over it. No, you won't. You're going to pass it on to your children. Who's going to pass it on to their children? Who's going to pass it on? You don't believe it? Look at our history. Everything we currently do today was passed on to us. Tell me I'm wrong. Or tell me I'm right. Don't believe and trust nothing you hear and say. Search it. Google's your best friend. Google's your best friend. You got everything you need with Google. Type in a letter, an instant, a year. It'll give you everything related to it. Now that AI is here, you can manipulate it. I ain't going to go there, but just trust me. You can manipulate it. You can manipulate the information that you receive from Now, Apple, Google, search engine, Yahoo, everything. It's not the same no more. We're in a different world now. We're in a different world. We need to understand, learn, before you end up back in it. I'm just saying, we got to defeat this cat. Yeah, by all means necessary. We got to defeat this cat. This cat gonna use every means to his ability to make sure. But it's a double whammy to him. It's a double whammy. It's worse. It's worse. Worst thing could ever happen. We're going to talk more on that, though. And those wars. There's a lot more to it than just the surface. But I want to come to you on that. That's crazy. I already mentioned it earlier. How can a group of people leave their country, go over the water to another country, and take it over, and establish themselves, and tell everybody that's there, you don't exist. You don't count. You're nothing. I own this now. That's like somebody coming to your house and telling you and your family to get out. Because this is mine now. I'm taking it. You can't say nothing or do nothing. Because this is mine now. You tell me what man gonna stand there and allow that to happen. Me and my nines is coming out. Don't do that. But yeah, everything stepped on them. Told them that you're not a nation of nothing. I am. I run this over here now. This is mine. And I got the help of this cat over here behind me, who was huge, who was big, who got everything I need, all my weapons. And they're going to pay me $1 billion a year just so I could be a nation and squash you. That's crazy that someone could think to do that or act like that and think it's okay. You notice one thing. They didn't do nothing until those 6 hostages that was found dead. Then all their people came out in the streets. Got a lot to say. When 40,000 Palestinians were killed, nothing. I'm telling you, we're living in hard times. Hard, don't be. Feelings, understanding, mutual agreements. Those, throw them out the window. It's all about me, mine, and what I want. It's crazy. It's crazy, but true. All right, till next we meet on Wednesday. Come get with me, get at me. Leave me some notes. If you think it's cool, pass it on. If you think I'm a fool, drop a line and let's see. We can talk. It's all about. That's all it's about. Conversation. I'm trying to like my people, so we don't get blindsided by something like, ooh, we should have knew that. You should have. Till next we meet. Stay safe and blessed.